Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gorachandraya Radhikaye Tadaraye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. So we begin today our lecture on the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra written by Badarayan Srila Vyasadeva 5,000 years ago. And the meaning of Vedanta is the end of Veda, the end of knowledge. There are different ways of understanding that knowledge. In tradition in India, there are many books. There are one Veda, which is divided by four by Srila Vyasadeva, also called Badarayana. And those four Vedas, the Rig, the Sama, the Yajur, and the Atharva, that's what is called the Samhita, the Veda Samhita, the collection. And in the prolongation of the Vedas are the Aranyakas, the Brahmana Aranyakas, and the Upanisads. Upanishads are sometimes called Vedanta because they represent the end of those Vedas. And traditionally also is included in Vedanta Bhagavad-Gita and Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra. They is called Tri-Prasthana. Tri, like number 3, and Prasthana means the foundation. The three foundation of Vedanta is Upanishads and Bhagavad-Gita and Brahma Sutra. But we can understand also Veda in a different way, a broader, larger way, meaning the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, the end of all spiritual knowledge. There's Bible, there's Quran, there's Avesta, there's many scriptures in the world which are called holy. And the end of all those knowledge, including Veda, Vedanta, Upanishads, is called Vedanta. What is the actual cream of all teachings, of all these different teachings in different religion? What is the spiritual, the essence? This is Vedanta. Some people believe that Vedanta is too difficult to understand, that we should not study Vedanta because it is only for people who have great brain matters, or for those who like to spend time in speculation. But actually this is the wrong understanding. Vedanta is philosophy. Also sometimes there's a little bit of theology, but essentially it is philosophy. Philosophy means to love wisdom. This is coming from Greek word. The Sophia that we love is how to know the goal of life. What is it that will make me happy? And what is the ultimate goal or the ultimate good? The summum bonum. That the Latin word is used. Summum bonum means the ultimate good. So Vedanta Sutra is actually the spiritual philosophy of life. What is philosophy for us? What does it give us? To understand better who we are and what is this world. Who is God and what is afterlife? Why are we struggling with existence? And what is the aim of our life? This is the importance of philosophy. But philosophy should always be with the spirituality. Today people want to practice spirituality with no philosophy. But this spirituality with no philosophy is actually bodily comfort, or sometimes just pleasure for the mind. There are teachings, valuable teachings, that are in all scriptures, including Buddhism, that doesn't have God belief or soul belief, but there's some wisdom. And we want to know what is the essence of all wisdom. That is Vedanta. So Srila Badarayan Vyasadeva, he is the author of those 550 sutra of Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra. It's called Brahma Sutra because it deals with the ultimate, which is called Brahman. Brahman is an impersonal realization of the Absolute, and sometimes it is personified, and as the God, as Ishvara, as all these commentators of Vedantas have said. But Brahman is the general realization of the Absolute. Aham Brahmasmi. This is Upanishad saying, I am Brahman. I am of the same nature of that Brahman. I am Atma and this is Brahman. This is the understanding. Tattvamasi. You are that. Shripad Shankaracharya, one of the oldest commentators of the Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra and the Upanishad and Bhagavad-Gita, he has said that in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, there are certain teachings which can be summarized in Mahavakya or great sayings of the Veda. So, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Tattvamasi, I am that of the Absolute. Sarvam Karvidam Brahma, that Brahman is everywhere. And so many other sayings that he has collected. We will see in the exposition of the beginnings of Vedanta, of Vedanta Sutra, that those sayings are specific, but there are other sayings which are also specific. Upanishads includes many great words, including the most important of all Mahavakya, which is Om. This Omkara is a chant that we repeat before any other mantra. So Vedanta Sutra is very terse and concise. There's only a few words. A sutra means aphorism. An aphorism is meant so that we can remember more easily. And it is usually on specific topics of Upanishads. Shripad Shankaracharya, he has said that Vedanta Sutra, especially the first chapter, follows closely the Chandogya Upanishad, one of the oldest Upanishad. And other commentators, they also have said it includes more than just Chandogya Upanishad. But nevertheless, it is important to understand that Srila Badarayan, Srila Vyasadeva, he has thought in his mind, I wish to make all these different topics understandable for common people. So first of all, he wrote Mahabharata, because the four Vedas are too complicated, and the Sanskrit in the Veda is also very specific. So he wrote Mahabharata in classical Sanskrit, in Lokik Sanskrit, worldly Sanskrit, that we can understand. And it is said that this fifth Veda actually can be understood even by a woman and by Shudra and by Vaishya, which were prohibited from reading Veda. So also by foreigners like ourselves, we can understand Veda through Mahabharata. But he also wanted to do something for those who are more philosophically inclined. So he summarized all the teachings of the Upanishad in those short sutras, and this is called Vedanta Sutra. In the Mahabharata, there is Bhagavad-Gita, which is also Vedanta because it summarizes all the Upanishads also. But in Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra, it's summarized in short aphorism. Some of those sutras can be very, very short, just one word or two words. Sometimes it is said, Smritish cha. And the Smriti is also a saying. Meaning that Upanishad is saying and the Smriti is a saying. And commentators have said the best of all Smriti is Bhagavad-Gita, even though this Bhagavad-Gita is also a Shruti. Shruti and Smriti, this is Vedantic terms. Shruti means directly connected with the Vedas. Veda, Brahmana, Upanishads. And Smriti means the Purana, Mahabharata, Itihasa, all the other scriptures, which are not Vedic per se, but have the same conclusion. This is a big topic, because there are so many books. This is a big topic. And we shall see that actually in the first chapter of Vedanta Sutra. It is called Samanvaya. It is the combination or the summary or the extension of all the different Vedic scriptures, teaching what is the absolute Brahman, and what is this Brahman, and what relationship do I have with this Brahman. So the Vedanta Sutra, 550 sutra, they sometimes have very, very short words, sometimes one word, sometimes only one word. For example, antar in 1.120, antar, inside. What does that mean? It is a reference to the Katha Upanishad, which says that inside your heart there is also another soul, the super soul, Paramatma, and it is greater than everything else. And we have to understand what is the reference between this short sutra and the Upanishads. So how do we know? Not by reading the sutra like this, we will not be able to understand anything. We need a commentary. Otherwise, it will be like something that doesn't make any sense, just a few words. First of all, it implies that we should know all the Upanishad, which is impossible. And that is the reason why Vyasadeva has actually compiled this Vedanta Sutra, to make sure that we understand the essence of the Upanishads. So who understands the essence of the Upanishad? The Guru, the Acharya. Only Guru knows. He's Vedantist. He's Bhakti Vedanta or is Jnani Vedanta, but he knows the conclusion of all the scriptures, and he can teach us. So there are 5 or 6 or 10 many commentaries of Vedanta Sutra. The 4 Vaishnava Acharyas and Shankaracharya, they have written commentaries on Vedanta Sutra, and also Bhagavad-Gita, and also the major Upanishads, the 3 Prasthana, the 3 main foundation of Vedanta. Shankaracharya wrote Shariraka Bhashya. He wrote that Brahman is actually one, and all the difference in the world and the entities is actually Brahman, but it is covered by some kind of Maya which is unexplainable, and therefore we think we are individual selves, and this is called the conditioned life. But we have to become free from this conditioned life by understanding that everything is Brahman, and therefore we become liberated even in this body, Jivan Mukta. This is Shariraka Bhashya of Shankaracharya. Then there is a commentary of Shripad Ramanujacharya. In the 12th century, Ramanujacharya, he has a specific philosophy, specific monism, Vishishtadvaita. That is what it is meaning. Specific monism. He says, for example, that you have a chair, and that chair has 4 legs and has also a seat and something standing up so you can lay your back on it, and it has a specific color, a specific texture, and so on. So what you call a chair is understandable by anyone. But what is a specific chair? What color, what material it is made, plastic or wood, or what kind of wood, and the way it is shaped, that is called Vishishta, specifics. So therefore Brahman is one, but there are specifics in Brahman. There are differences, and those differences can be also differences within many different types. This is called Vishishtadvaita. Ramanujacharya is saying, it is not because there's a green bird that flies into the green forest that he merges into the forest and the birds disappear. Because the color is the same, it doesn't mean that it becomes one. It is still an individual. So Ramanujacharya introduced bhakti into this Vedanta, saying there is God called Vishnu Narayan, and this God Vishnu Narayan is also Brahman or Paramatman or different other names that you can give. So this is Ramanujacharya. Then later on there's Madhvacharya. Sripad Madhvacharya is coming and is calling Dvaitavada, the pure duality. That Vishnu is separated from everybody else. He is one. He is Brahman. But there are other creation that he has made. And the relationship and the goal of our life is to worship that Vishnu. Then there are other commentaries by other commentators that try to describe different things. We will go on next time with this topic, with the other commentators and the subject matters of the general Vedanta Sutra, and specifically the first chapter. Vanchakalpa tarubhya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.